I'm joined now by Congressman Richard Hudson, a Republican from North Carolina. He's the author of the bill that would stop Syrian refugees from gaining access to America. The president has come out tonight saying he would veto that bill. Sir, good to have you with us. Thanks for being here tonight.
Great to be with you, Erica.
So there is currently, as I know you know, an 18 at the minimum to 24-month period. It takes as long as 18 to 24 months for a refugee to enter this country. They go through an extensive vetting process with all the different agencies. And in fact, Syrian refugees actually go through a further vetting process. Has there been evidence to this point of that process failing and allowing a terrorist into the United States?
Well, Erica, this isn't me saying that we have a problem with the process. The FBI director testified before Congress recently and said that we can't do background checks adequately on these refugees from Syria. Jay Johnson, Secretary of Homeland Security, also said he had concerns about their ability to get information on these refugees.
The director of the CIA, John Brennan, has said essentially we've got this, that the current security checks in place do enough.
Well, I'm not going to get between the FBI director who says we can't do it and the CIA director. I haven't seen those comments from him, but I can tell you that the rationale the FBI director gave us was when you do a background check, you go talk to the neighbors, you go talk to people that know them. In some cases, you go talk to the fourth grade piano teacher. But the problem with the Syrian refugees, in a lot of cases, you can't go knock on the next door neighbor's house because the whole block's not there anymore. You can't go talk to the former employer because the business isn't there anymore. And so what the FBI director said is we can't properly vet these folks. And so what our legislation said, it's a very reasonable approach. It doesn't say stop all refugees. It doesn't say, we're going to ban Syrians. It says let's stop until the FBI director has got a process in place that he's confident we can do background checks.
The president has said he will veto this bill. What happens next?
Well, I was disappointed to hear him say that, but frankly, Erica, he's issued a veto threat on every single bill we've brought to the House floor. And so, my hope is if we can get Democrats to join us with this common sense legislation, if we can get Democrats in the Senate like Chuck Schumer and others who've expressed concerns, Dianne Feinstein, others have expressed concerns about this process, if they will join us with this common sense approach, then I'm hopeful that the president will change his mind.
There's also this talk about the authorized use of military force, or AUMF as it's known. Lindsey Graham talking about it today, saying he'd like to bring it up in terms of fighting ISIS. This has not yet come up to the floor. Is this something that could be pushed with your bill at the same time?
Well, our bill's coming to the floor tomorrow, but I agree that we ought to be considering the AUMF. The president sent it to us a while back. I think it's our responsibility as Congress to take a look at it and respond. I'm disappointed we haven't, frankly, but we that before tomorrow.
Have you personally had a chance to look through it, sir?
I read the president's AUMF, and I'll just tell you my concern is he puts a lot of strings on himself, and that's not really up to Congress, in my opinion, to tie the hands of the commander-in-chief. I would be much more comfortable giving him authorization for use of force to do whatever it takes to kill ISIS, destroy ISIS anywhere that he needs to go to do it. And if he wants to put strings on himself, tie his own hands, I'll leave that up to the commander-in-chief.
Before we let you go, sir, I do want to ask you about this new ISIS video that just came out earlier this evening. Highly produced propaganda video, as we know, but it does highlight images of Times Square. Your thoughts when you see this, especially on the heels of that threat that we received, or the warning, I guess we could call it, about Washington, D.C. earlier this week?
Well, I haven't had a chance to see the video, but from your description of it, it's concerning. But this is what terrorist groups do. They want to scare us. But it's no secret that they want to target Washington, D.C. They want to target New York. I believe ISIS. I take them at their word when they say they want to come here and kill Americans. That's why we've got to be so vigilant. ISIS has also said they will use this refugee crisis to infiltrate America. I take them at their word that they're trying to do that. And that's why it's so important that we take a step here and just say, let's wait, let's pause the refugee flow into the U.S. until the FBI director is satisfied that we can do background checks.
Congressman Richard Hudson, appreciate your time tonight, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Great.